Your entire life has been shaped by invisible laws you never knew existed. Ever wonder why some people rise to the top while others stay stuck at the bottom?
It's not about talent, money, or luck.
It's about something far more dangerous: dark manipulation. Today, I'm exposing the 15 most powerful manipulation tactics used by those in power. Once you understand these tactics, you'll never see the world the same way again. You'll recognize when someone's using these methods against you. And most importantly, you'll learn how to protect yourself. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like someone was playing you? Like they knew exactly what buttons to push to get what they wanted from you? That feeling in your gut was right. There are people who study these dark manipulation tactics their entire lives, and they're using them on you every single day. The scariest part? Most people go their entire lives without ever knowing they're being manipulated. They think they're making their own choices when really, they're just following someone else's script. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how these power games work. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's break down the 15 most powerful, manipulative, and strategic laws that control our world. Laws that let people control, command, and outthink anyone around them. After this, you'll no longer wonder how people rise to power. You'll understand exactly how the game is played. And you'll have a choice: start playing the game yourself, or learn how to defend against those who do. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The first law might be the most important one, especially if you're ambitious. If you're more intelligent than your boss, never try to prove it in front of them. Understand this clearly: the more you shine, the quicker your career will end. Why? Because no powerful person can ever tolerate someone trying to surpass them. People in higher positions often have fragile egos. If you try to display your brilliance in front of them, they will either suppress you or completely remove you. History is filled with such people who got destroyed by their own brightness. Galileo, Nicolas Fouquet, and thousands of others who were removed simply because they tried to shine more than their master. Even if your ideas could change the world, one single mistake can finish you. What do smart people do? They hide their power. They protect egos. And when the time is right, they strike. Now you have to choose: shine or survive. Let me give you a real example. There was a brilliant engineer at a tech company who constantly corrected his boss during meetings. He was technically right every time, but within 6 months, he was fired for not being a team player. Meanwhile, another engineer who was just as smart but publicly credited his boss for ideas quickly rose through the ranks. Remember, your goal isn't to show how smart you are. Your goal is to succeed. And sometimes, that means letting others think they're smarter than you. Law 2. Keep your enemies closer than your friends. Your friends often start believing they deserve a share in your success. But an enemy, when they join your side, tries to prove their loyalty. Even Napoleon once doubted his friends, and those very friends brought down his empire. Julius Caesar's closest friend Brutus was the one who killed him. An enemy's intentions are clear, but you never know when a friend might betray you. In the game of power, there's no place for emotions. Smart people don't blindly trust friends. They see every person as a tool. They don't just eliminate enemies. They know how to use them in their favor. Sometimes a person who once hated you can become your biggest asset if you change their mindset. But a friend will always be dangerous. A controlled enemy can become your strongest weapon. Look at any major corporate scandal, and you'll find the same pattern. The whistleblower is rarely the enemy. It's usually someone who was considered a friend or ally. The person who brings you down is typically someone you trusted. This doesn't mean you should live in paranoia. It means you should be strategic about who you trust and how much information you share. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. What's the biggest mistake you can make? Telling the world your intentions. What you want, what you're thinking. If people figure that out, they'll either try to stop you or ruin your entire game. The person who reveals their moves becomes predictable. And if you're predictable, you're vulnerable. Your enemies will anticipate your next step before you even take it. But if you always stay one step behind the curtain, you become unstoppable. In history, the smartest people were those who moved in silence, like the Rothschild banking family. They built their wealth by keeping their real strategies hidden. They fed the world false information, manipulated the market, and when the time was right, struck so hard it shook the system.
Even Warren Buffett never openly reveals his next market move.
Why?
Because the one who hides their strategy always wins the game.
Wise people only show the world what the world wants to see. Their true power stays hidden.
And when the time comes, they strike with a move no one saw coming.
Power always lives in mystery. The moment it becomes visible, it starts to fade. Think about the most successful negotiators you know. Do they show their hand immediately?
Or do they keep their real goals hidden until the perfect moment?
The art of concealment isn't about lying. It's about strategic revelation of information. Law 4. Say less than necessary. Your tongue is your greatest weakness. The one who talks too much digs their own grave. The more you expose your plans, your thoughts, and your strategies, the easier it becomes for others to find a way to break you. You might think you're being smart, but powerful people only start taking you seriously when you learn to control your words. This world only remembers those who remain a mystery. Those who expose everything end up as nothing more than pawns. Ever noticed how the most powerful people in a room are often the quietest? They're not quiet because they have nothing to say. They're quiet because they understand the power of silence. When you speak less, people value your words more. They lean in to hear what you have to say.
They fill the silence with their own words, revealing their hand while you keep yours hidden.
This doesn't mean you should never speak. It means you should make your words count. Say what needs to be said, nothing more. Law 5. Defend your reputation with force. If you ever fall, make sure you rise so strong that no one dares to bring you down again. If someone tries to push you into frustration or humiliation, don't just defend yourself. Destroy them so fiercely in front of everyone that no one ever dares again. People don't remember everything. They only remember what shakes them. And the one who appears the most powerful becomes unforgettable. No one will care about your reality.
They'll only judge you by the image you create.
In this world, there are only two ways to survive. Either people fear you, or you keep falling over and over again.
Now the choice is yours. Which path will you take?
This might sound extreme, but your reputation is your most valuable asset. Once it's damaged, it's incredibly hard to repair. That's why you must defend it aggressively when it's attacked. Think about how companies respond to public relations crises.
The ones who survive aren't the ones who apologize meekly and hope for forgiveness.
They're the ones who mount a strong, decisive defense and control the narrative. The same principle applies to your personal and professional life. When your reputation is attacked, you must respond with overwhelming force to deter future attacks.
Law 6. Court attention at all cost.
The world only listens to those who command attention. Those who go unnoticed are already dead.
If you're not noticed, you don't exist.
If you want power, make people obsess over you. Become their entertainment, their addiction, or be erased from their minds forever. This is the core of attention and existence in life. You have only two choices. Either people remember you, or you fade away like another worthless nobody. If you want to be powerful, force the world to focus on you.
Control their emotions, whether it's love or hate, but never be ignored. Even if people hate you, it means you've won because you're living in their minds.
The greatest death is to be ignored. If you want to be remembered, shake the world so hard that it never forgets you, or else you'll become irrelevant forever. Average people live and die unnoticed. What will you do? Look at any influential figure in history or today. They all understand this law. They create personas that demand attention. They say and do things that make people talk about them. They understand that attention is currency in our world. But there's a key distinction here. You want quality attention, not just any attention. Being famous for making a fool of yourself isn't power. Being known for excellence, innovation, or strength, that's real power. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but take the credit. Someone else is making you their slave because you're not using your own mind. Power belongs to those who take credit for the work of others. Those who work tirelessly with everything they have, they're just workers. The ones who make others work for them, they become masters. The more you work, the more the world will use you. Real winners don't work hard. They make others do it for them. You can sweat day and night, but if you don't take credit, you're just a pawn in someone else's game. Only winners get praised. History remembers only the number ones, the ones who take credit. The world forgets those who work hard.
but it worships those who steal the spotlight. This is how the world works. Either you make people work for you, or you work for them. Which one will you be?
This might sound unethical, but look at how many CEOs take credit for the innovations of their teams.
Look at how many managers present their subordinates' ideas as their own. The lesson isn't that you should cheat others out of recognition. It's that you should be strategic about how work is distributed and credited. Make sure your name is attached to successful projects, even if you're not doing all the work yourself. Law 8. Make others come to you. Use bait if necessary. If you chase people, you become just another follower. Powerful people never chase. They set the game, and the world follows their rules.
The moment you run after someone, you lower your value.
But if people can't function without you, you become unstoppable.
Power belongs to those who know how to control others.
If you want something from someone, never chase them.
Instead, turn their needs into your weapon. Test their patience. Make them desperate for you and force them to come to you.
If you run after people, you will never earn respect.
True power lies in making others dance to your rules. Do you want to be an ordinary person or a mastermind? Control them or be controlled. Power belongs to those who know how to control others.
This applies in business, relationships, and every area of life.
The person who needs the deal less has more power. The person who seems less invested has more control. That's why successful people create scarcity around themselves. They make their time, attention, and services seem limited and valuable. They don't chase clients or partners. They make those people chase them. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Never argue with a fool.
He will drag you down to his level and defeat you there. True power doesn't come from words. It comes from action.
The more you try to explain yourself, the more people will ignore you.
Winners don't argue. They end the game.
People who only talk are never taken seriously. Powerful people never explain themselves. They show results.
If someone doesn't understand you, don't waste time convincing them.
Bury them under your success. An argument means you're still in a position where you need to prove yourself. But those who truly hold power never need to prove anything.
If you are powerful, do only one thing: win. Make the world acknowledge your name, whether they love you or hate you.
Actions speak louder than words. Think about how often people get caught in endless debates and arguments that go nowhere.
Meanwhile, the truly powerful are busy taking action, building empires, and creating results that speak for themselves. When someone criticizes you or questions your abilities, don't waste time defending yourself verbally.
Instead, let your success be your response.
Nothing silences critics like undeniable results. Law 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. No matter how hard you work, no matter how smart you become, if there's even one flaw in your life, you will never succeed.
And the biggest mistake people make? Thinking others will help them succeed.
The truth is, most people are the reason for your downfall.
The people in your life either lift you up or drag you down. There is no in-between.
And if you don't understand this, you will never win.
There was a man who was the best at everything he did, but his life was falling apart. His business was failing, his relationships were breaking, his friends betrayed him, and money slipped through his hands like sand. And he couldn't understand why this was happening. Then he noticed something. Every problem in his life came from the people around him.
He was surrounded by complainers, failures, and negativity.
So he made one decision. He started cutting them off. And within 1 year, his life completely changed.
The moral of the story is simple. If you want power, eliminate the losers from your life. Failures don't just bring problems. They are a disease. And if you don't remove them, they will infect you.
This law might seem harsh, but it's based on a simple truth. We become like the people we spend time with. If you surround yourself with negative, unsuccessful people, their mindset will infect you. Their failures will become your failures. Instead, surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. People who push you to be better. People who inspire you rather than drain you. Your environment shapes your destiny more than you think.
Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. People will stay loyal to you only as long as they need you. The moment you become unnecessary, you will be discarded. You think you're important because of your value. No,
You're only important as long as people can't survive without you. A king once asked his advisor, "Who is the most successful man?" The advisor laughed and replied, "The one whose absence collapses the entire system, no matter what position he holds." Rome's most cunning minister secured his position for years by never revealing everything to the king. He always kept secrets to himself. One day, the king thought he no longer needed him and removed him from his position. But what happened next? The entire system fell apart. This is the real rule of power. Never let anyone learn to live without you. People should feel your presence as a necessity, not an option. The moment they learn to function without you, you become worthless. Have you ever noticed why a camel is so highly valued in the desert? Because without it, survival is impossible. The same rule applies to power. Make yourself irreplaceable, or be replaced. In your career, this means developing unique skills that no one else has. In business, it means creating products or services that customers can't imagine living without. In relationships, it means becoming so valuable that the other person wouldn't dare lose you. This isn't about manipulation. It's about genuine value creation. The more indispensable you make yourself, the more secure your position becomes. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. The most dangerous trick is making someone believe you're on their side. People never suspect their enemies, but they always let their guard down for those who seem trustworthy. This is why the most cunning minds wear a mask of generosity and honesty. People lose their sense of danger when they believe the person in front of them is protecting them. This psychological weakness is exactly what powerful leaders, business tycoons, and winners exploit to build their power. Genghis Khan used this strategy when he conquered cities. Instead of immediately destroying them, he spared the people, showered them with gifts and respect, making them believe he was their protector. But the moment they let their guard down, he wiped out entire cities. This is what made him unstoppable. Those who truly understand power use generosity as a weapon, not as a virtue. Because the ones who show real honesty are always the first to be exploited. This doesn't mean you should be dishonest in all your dealings. It means you should be strategic about when and how you show generosity and honesty. Used at the right moment, they can be powerful tools of influence. For example, being unexpectedly honest about a small flaw can make people trust you more deeply. Showing generosity in a visible way can create strong feelings of obligation and loyalty. Law 13. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy or gratitude. You think people will help you because you're a good person, because you've done something for them. Forget it. In this world, no one helps anyone out of kindness. People only do something when it benefits them. If you want something from someone, give them a reason that serves their own interests. When Julius Caesar wanted to take control of Rome, he didn't beg or tell emotional stories. Instead, he offered people power, wealth, and the dream of an unstoppable status. He activated their greed, and when they saw that supporting Caesar would benefit them, the entire Roman Empire bowed at his feet. The world has only two types of people: those who beg for help and those who use power to get what they want. Your voice will only be heard when others see a way to profit from you. You think life is about emotions and kindness, but the real world only understands profit and loss. This law might sound cynical, but it's based on human nature. People are primarily motivated by self-interest. When you're trying to persuade someone, focusing on what they'll gain is far more effective than appealing to their sense of fairness or gratitude. This doesn't mean people are incapable of kindness or generosity. It means that self-interest is a more reliable motivator. If you can align your goals with someone else's self-interest, you're much more likely to get what you want. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. This law is so dangerous that if you truly understand it, you can break into anyone's mind. If you're afraid of hearing the truth, leave now. The biggest fools are those who believe that friends only exist to support them. But the reality is, the people closest to you can become your greatest weakness. If you want to extract your enemy's deepest secrets straight from his own mouth, make him feel like you're his most loyal friend. During Machiavelli's era, there was a minister who became every king's most trusted friend. The kings trusted him so blindly that they shared their biggest state secrets with him. And then one day, that same minister became their greatest enemy and destroyed their empire. If you want to gather complete information on someone, become a human mirror. Agree with everything they say. Use their language. Adopt their mindset. This will make them believe that you both think the same way, and once they trust you completely, you can manipulate them using their own words against them. The one you call your friend. What if he already knows all your weaknesses? You think he's on your side, but in reality, the world is just a game. And in this game, the one who knows the most wins. This lore reveals the dark side of human relationships. It shows how trust can be weaponized and how people can use the appearance of friendship to gain advantage. But there's a flip side to this law. Understanding it makes you less vulnerable. When you realize how easily trust can be exploited, you become more careful about what you share and with whom. You learn to recognize when someone is mirroring you too perfectly or agreeing with you too consistently. Law 15. Absence increases respect and honor. If you are always present, always accessible, people will stop valuing you. Your worth only increases when your absence is felt. Think about it, if diamonds were everywhere, would they still be priceless? Of course not. True value lies in scarcity, not in presence. The world only chases what is rare and hard to obtain. That's why you must learn to disappear. Remove yourself from the eyes of the people, and when you return with something so powerful that they are forced to notice. Brands are not available everywhere. Powerful people are not accessible to everyone. They make people crave their presence. Remember, if you are always in front of them, they will ignore you. But if you disappear, they will go mad wondering where you are. And when you return, your value will be 10 times greater than before. Even legends fade when they become too common. But when they disappear and return, they become immortal. This law explains why familiarity breeds contempt while absence makes the heart grow fonder. When you're constantly available, people take you for granted. But when you create scarcity around your presence, people value you more. Look at how luxury brands operate. They limit their availability to increase desire. They create waiting lists for products to make them seem more valuable. They understand that people want what they can't easily have. The same principle applies to your professional and personal relationships. Being too available makes you seem desperate and unimportant. Being selectively available makes you seem valuable and in demand. So how do you protect yourself from these manipulation tactics? Here are 3 key strategies. First, become aware. Now that you know these laws, you'll start to recognize them in action. Watch how people behave, not what they say. Look for patterns. Trust your instincts when something feels off. Second, maintain your independence. The more dependent you are on others, the more vulnerable you are to manipulation. Build your own skills, resources, and network so that no one person has too much power over you. Third, develop your own power base. Use these laws ethically to build your influence and protect yourself from those who would use them against you. Remember, power itself isn't evil. It's how you use it that matters. The most powerful position is not to reject these laws entirely. It's to understand them deeply, use them wisely, and never become their victim.